All right. So we're going to start with the questions from the tutorial. Okay. At the same time, pause it because trying to admit some of your friends in. Okay. So you can actually watch the video from lesson 43. And then these are paper 2 questions. So since they are paper 2 questions, that means the calculator is allowed. All right, so you're allowed to use the calculator. Okay, very quickly. Number 1 is an algebra question. So 3 boys collected bottles for recycling. Now take note, for algebra question, you need not simplify them. Okay. When you express them in the terms needed. Okay, so Jill collected 2 M bottles. So Jill collected 2 M bottles, which was half as many as what Kelson collected. So Jill collected half of what Kelson collected. So that means if Jill collected half of Kelson, that means Kelson will be, yes, that's right, Brian. Kelson will be twice Jill. And Timmy, on the other hand, collected 9 more than Kelson. So Timmy collected 9 more than Kelson. So here, if I make parts equal, I will have 2M. So question says, how many bottles did they collect all together? So from here, what do? You want to find out this total. Yes. Salman, so what's the total? Anyone? Brian says yes, you're right. So we add them up. So total would be, you have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 plus 9. So that's 10M plus 9. Okay, so that's what we have for this question. It's number 1. Well done, those of you who got it. Actually, I think most of you got it right, with the exception of very few of you. Let's see. So those of you who got it wrong, Joylin, Kian, Kaing, what happened? Because I think you forgot to put in the letters. Okay, now let's look at question number 2. Now, in question 2, question says, a swimming club has 100 male and 50 female. Okay, so you have male 100 and female 50. Now, 1/10 of the male members, so we have 1/10 of 100 to give me 10. So that's 10 and 90. And 2/5 of the female members, 2/5 times 50 to give me 20. So that's 30. Are students. So these are your students. And students. Okay. Okay, so there you have it. What percentage of the members are students? So total here, you have 150. So what percentage of the members are students? So you have 30 times 100% to give me how much? Cancel the zeros. Divide by 3. So that's 20%. Okay, so that's 20% of the members are students. Okay, now, question number 3. Now, to solve this question, the first thing you need to do is to, so if I nudge the graph, identify what does each division represent. Can anyone tell me what does each of these division represent? How many? Thank you, Tammy. They represent 5. So how many green highlighters are there? Can anyone tell me how many green highlighters there are? Thank you, Ashika. So there are 55. How many blue highlighters are there? Thank you, Tammy. 85. And how about the red highlighters? Thank you, Kian. That's 35. And how many black highlighters? Yashika, thank you. So that's 50. Sorry, 25. Okay. So now that we've established the numbers given to us in the graph, so what fraction of the highlighters sold were black highlighters? So how many of the highlighters? So that means we need to first find out what is the total number of highlighters. How many highlighters are there? That's 55 plus 85, 35, and 25. So how many highlighters are these? Anyone? 200 highlighters. Yes, thank you, Ashika. 200. So question, what fraction of the highlighters were black? So fraction that were black would be, you have 25 black out of 200. Simplify this to give me 1/8. Thank you, Brian. Okay, so you have 1/8. Now, for part B, it says here, from the sale of the highlighters, which colored highlighters collected the least amount of money? So, in order to get the least amount of money, collected the least, that means it must be the smallest number or the fewest and the cheapest. Now, if you look at the table, which one is the cheapest? Which one is the cheapest? Anyone? Thank you, Wilma. Thank you, Brian, Yashika, and Tammy. So red is the cheapest, $1.20. So this is red. $1.20 red. How many red highlighters are there? 35. So costs or amount would be equal to 35 times $1.20. To give me how much? So 35 times $1.20 to give me $42. Okay, so that gives me $42. Thank you. Okay, those of you who gave me the answers, thank you. You know who you are lah. Okay, question 4. Question 4 is a speed question. So you have two people, Charles and Keith, started jogging at the same time along the route shown. Both did not change their speed throughout. So this is an important question. Oh, Brian says it's a trick question. Let's see whether is it a trick question. Now, after 45 minutes, okay, so after 45 minutes, Charles was halfway at the halfway point. So that means starting from the starting point, you have Charles. After 45 minutes, Charles was at halfway point and Keith was 450 meters behind. So Keith is here at 45 minutes, which is 450 meters behind. So when Charles reached the end point 4 minutes before Keith, so Charles will reach 45 minutes. Now, in 45 minutes, I'm going to move this first. So in 45 minutes, okay, so another 45 minutes. Keith is here. He is 4 minutes away from the end point. Okay, so it's 4 minutes away from the end point. Now, from here, what do we have? What information do we know? Now, remember, after every 45 minutes, there is an extra 450. So there are 245. That means this distance here is 900 meters. Can you see this? 900 meters. Now, with this, can I find the speed of Keith? Can I find the speed of Keith? Will be distance divided by time to give me 225 meters per minute. So that's the speed of Keith. Okay, what was the distance of the root? So we want to find the distance of the root. We can make use of the information given to us. In this case, we'll make use of this information, 45, 45, and 4. Total, how many? We know the speed of Keith, right? Which is 225. So the time taken to cover from the start point to the end point. So from here, we know that the total time taken will be equal to 45 minutes times 2 plus 4 minutes to give me 94 minutes. Thank you, Yashika. So I have the distance, I have the time taken and I have the speed. Can I find the distance? So the distance is equals to speed, 225 times time. Thank you, Yashika. So that's 94 times 225 to give me 21,150 meters. So that's the distance between, yes, thank you, between the start point to the end point. So when you're doing speed, it is important that you actually write down the distance time line. Okay? All right. Anybody has a question? Let me see. Yeah, a lot of you didn't get this speed question. Oh, it's very tough. Okay. All right. Now, let's look at question number 5. So again, another graph question. Okay, so the graph shows the number of cupcakes sold each month by a new bakery from July to December. Okay, so now, what does each division represent? Anyone? What does each division represent? Is it 25? Everyone agrees, 25? No. Okay, so who disagree? Yes. So each division is 50. So you have 200. Number of cupcakes sold, 200. In August, how many cupcakes were sold? $350. Okay. In September, how many cupcakes were sold? 450. And in October, how many cupcakes were sold? 600. November? November, 900. And of course, December will be 950. Okay, so now that I have established all this information that I need, okay, now question says, how many more cupcakes were sold in October? How many were sold in October? 600. How many were sold in October? Then in August, which is 350. So to find how many more cupcakes will be, we take 600 minus 350 to give me 250. So this is your 250. Okay. What was the